My name is Alex Ramirez, and I'm going to be discussing family parties and traditions. So, did you know that bull riding began in Mexico in the 1900s? So, vaqueros, also known as cowboys, would use advanced techniques to transport horse and cattle, and these skills later became a tradition that evolved into Mexico's national sport. So, some background information on this would be that ranchers and cowboys would use certain tactics to manage their livestock, and they would round up these horses with and cattle with their rope skills. So, growing up in a Mexican family, I have been taught to stay close to my roots and honor my tradition. And every December, I visit Mexico to watch these rodeos, to see bull riders and cowboys show off their skills that have been passed down from multiple generations. So, at family parties, my family always brings out a bull costume that is passed around that signifies my ancestors that began these traditions. So, my family and I celebrate our culture to keep these traditions alive and pass them down to the next generation. They keep us close not only among ourselves, but also a way to tie back to home. So this topic is relevant because Mexico is known for their rodeos. In these rodeos, many gather to watch people perform as live mariachi bands, cowboys, bull riders, and folk dancers all get together in one certain space. Not only do people visit rodeos for entertainment, as well as for the traditional Mexican food that are sold there. So Mexican traditions have evolved over time, not only to entertain newer generations. So the traditions have lived this long due to the Mexican culture valuing family. So we honor and respect our loved ones by preserving the traditions that they leave behind. So Mexican families would always be sure to celebrate birthdays and special occasions by having family gatherings. And during these family gatherings, we would celebrate our traditional dances and foods. Even religion is represented in the parties with the piñatas that are destroyed every birthday. So therefore, it is important to keep it is important to continue our traditions to keep them alive for future generations. So going on to my first point, Mexican culture values family. So the way we honor, love, and respect our ancestors and past loved ones is by preserving the skills and lessons they leave behind. So by creating new traditions. So my parents raised me and my brothers the way we were raised. The way they were raised. So my mom has inherited a lot of skills from my grandma, from the food she cooks to the home remedies she uses when we're sick. I feel as if my grandma is still with me. Weddings, birthdays, and partying in general, we always bring Mexican traditions to our homes just like we were taught. Thankfully, Mexican traditions have been passed down to my generation, so I'm able to be part of honoring my ancestors. It is always important to my family to host any birthdays, even quinceañeras. We use any opportunity to get the family together, and during that time we eat and dance with each other. So why is this significant? So this is significant because it shows how important it is to unify the family every now and then. We all get together to celebrate life and make sure to have food and music to accommodate the guests. It reveals how close family is with with each other and our relatives. So now that you understand how important family parties are to me, let me go into my other point of what we do in these parties and how we celebrate our culture. So, going to my next point, anytime we have a reason to celebrate, whether it's just a wedding, birthday, or holiday, we always make sure to have a bull. So that bull is used to honor Mexican traditions. As I said, in our parties, we use a colorful paper mache bull that is made to be put on someone to dance in. A crowd then forms around the person wearing the bull costume and pretends to be a bullfighter. So, how this tradition came to be was to honor the religion of the saints. This began in the city of Charreras. So this is important because people in Mexico have been showing off their bull riding skills since the 1900s. The way that bull riding was used as a way to show courage. So bull riding was used as a way to show courage, as people would often go on these bulls to determine how brave they were. And this is why we always hold honor to the culture, to respect the bravery that these people had. And nowadays that has changed so far of how we determine what bravery is. And so showing our courage has changed very much compared to society now. But another topic, not the piñatas. So what is almost necessary in every party is a piñata. Family members always sure to have a piñata to allow the children to get their candy. But they also have a history with our tradition. In a website all about Mexico called Imagine Mexico, it lists all different information needed to be able to learn about Mexico, as well as how to book a trip. In one of the articles, however, on piñatas, Laura Kelly states how piñatas come from a blend of Catholic tradition superimposed over the Aztec offering to the god of war. So the piñata was used to teach about the 7 cardinal sins, as there were 7 points in piñata. A child is put a blindfold on to represent the blindness that we live without spiritual alignment. So the child then tries to break the piñata to represent how someone becomes liberated when they break those 7 cardinal sins, which is the goodness raining upon them. So this is significant because to our families, the tradition is always to reward the children with the candy, but the actual meaning was to give respect to our religion, as well as our ancestors of the Aztecs. So now that you know about my family tradition and what goes on during these parties, it's time to review. I chose parties to resemble my culture for the numerous traditions we hold during them. So it's not only that it's just parties, it is what we do in those parties. And I talked about what makes my family so close to one another and we do during these parties, such as bull riding and piñatas. They all hold significant meanings to our culture, which is why we are always sure to continue them. So I asked you to reflect on your culture and what traditions you hold to preserve your traditions. This is relevant to everyone, as we all have families and we do things differently, as in how we get together, even to the food we eat. So next time you're in a family gathering, make sure to know what things you do and do research into to discover more about your culture and ancestors.